Ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Sharkies. Now you're expecting me to say spec late models, but this is the Sharkies Irwindale Race of Champion, folks. And if you just figure all that out, it's called the IROC race. Here tonight, Irwindale Speedway. This is the first time we have ever done this at Irwindale Speedway. Props on the new owners for thinking this up with these Sharkies spec late model cars. Some of the drivers in this race will be racing these cars for points this year. Their season starts in 2 weeks. Tonight, it's all for the bragging rights, Jeffrey. A lot of fun. We get to see some past champions in this field duking it out with nothing more than bragging rights.
It's all about the trophy.
All about the trophy. No points being awarded. And how about we go through the champions in this field? Superstock champion, the number 51, Zach Green, starts on the pole, and he actually just found out this week, coming into this event, that he's going to be driving in this race. Puts it up on the pole to his outside. Jeffrey, Grand American Modified champion out at Irwindale Speedway, John Walkinson, starting outside front row. Then we got row 2, the third place starter, the number 97. This driver has gotten himself plenty of wins and championships to boot. The number 97 of Nick Joanitis, and to his outside, the number 68, another driver that's gotten a lot of wins. These two drivers on this row up there with the winningest drivers here at this track's history. Ryan Partridge starting 4th. Row number 3 on the inside, the number 50 of Bill Sedgwick, NASCAR Winston West champion. To the inside of the number 43 driver of Kenny Smith, driver who's been racing for probably 100 years. Row number 4 has the number 24. This driver just won a championship no more than 4 months ago. That is the number 24 of Dennis Arena, starting 7th. And to his outside, the driver who's won arguably, and we can debate this, the most championships this season, or even in the past of Irwindale Speedway, from San Fernando, the number 19 of Robert Arevalo.
Yeah.
We'll get into him in a second.
I think you're right when you say that it's arguable.
Arguably. All right. Did I just say the name of a restaurant?
Tried to say.
Row number 5, your final row. Out of the 10 cars here, 9th place starter, the number 5 of Trevor Huddleston. Jeffrey, he's won himself some late model championships here at Irwindale Speedway, and another driver in this Race of Champions event is the is a driver. Pardon me, folks. I was up Sesame Street. This is the driver that I got the most excited for our championship roster. He's probably ran a total of 4 races in his career at Irwindale Speedway. Yeah. From Irvine, California.
Yes.
In the number 29, starting 10th, the final row of this field. This is Matt Sue.
Okay, so
folks,
Race of Champions.
You know what? And the reason why, let's be honest, the reason why those drivers are in this field is because they're actually getting some practice. Yep. And because they're newbies to this racing. And how about this? You stick them in the field full of veterans. The Irwindale Race of Champions starts now. Walkinson on the outside front row did not get a great start. He's actually slipping back. Zach Green with the advantage out of turn number 2.
No. This race might not be for points, but the race director is going to take no BS.
I think it's because maybe someone jumped the start,
or I turned off the power to our microphone. So.
I think our power was like, really, you guys are making fun of Matt Sue and Arevalo? No, but let's call a spade a spade. These drivers here, they're not champions by any means. They are just getting their career started in the Sharky Spec late models, and very cool of the track to allow them to come out and learn from the champions that we have here.
I'm just gathering the fact that you're on Sesame Street. Tommy, you and I mean, some of these drivers we grew up
Trevor,
watching.
we've seen all these drivers win championships.
Yeah.
We've seen them all win championships.
You know?
Except for who? Except for Haley.
She's not in the race.
Nope, she's...
What?
She was supposed to.
She was supposed to be.
But then I think she got a late model ride.
That's all I got to say.
All right, so...
And technically, Haley Deegan has won championships.
She has
not
one
at
off-road,
Irwindale.
yeah. All right, Jeffrey, so...
Who are you rooting for in this? Or not rooting for. Who's your pick to win it?
I can't pick anybody that's outside of the second row.
I'm going to say Bill Sedgwick.
All right, that's a good pick.
I just forget which car he's in.
The Bill Sedgwick machine is the number 50. Inside the number 43 of Kenny Smith and John Watkinson. Right now he's settled in the 4th spot, if you call that settled in, Jeffrey. And funny enough, your pick is Bill Sedgwick. That was actually going to be one of my picks. But if we're putting money down in Vegas, it'd have to be Joanitis or Partridge, because I think they're the most dominant in history here at Irwindale Speedway in this race. To the inside goes the number 5. Nope, that's the number 68. Very much a lookalike. That is Flying Ryan Partridge into the lead, lap number 2.
Following him, the number 97 of Joanitis.
Yeah, Nick Joanitis.
So, Trevor Huddleston's in this race.
Yes,
in the
he
number
is.
5. One of the few times we're actually going to see him race this year. And you know, a big part of that, Tommy, I think, is they wanted to start off at least their first year of racing out here and say, look, we don't want anyone just looking at this and going, oh, great, you know, one Huddleston runs the track, one races at the track. So they said, you know, let's keep you busy elsewhere. And Trevor was able to get a ride in the number 22 K&N Pro car, and that's something that could mature itself to be a full season ride if things continue to go well. A great start last year, but man, race car drivers and race teams have quite the relationship. You notice Trevor's back here.
Yeah.
When I interviewed him, I was walking by his crew, and they all asked me to ask him the same thing. Ask him why he was the second from the slowest in practice. That's all they wanted me to ask.
So they're like, why is the champion having issues? Jeffrey into turn number 3, Watkinson to the inside of the 24. That is Dennis Arena. And that...
So they were poking fun at Trevor. I think, obviously, this isn't a... I don't even know whose car that is.
That is a car that's driven by them.
Kenny Smith.
Kenny Smith, the cowboy, to the 4th spot, getting by Bill Sedgwick in his number 50 machine. And then a battle brewing up front, 7 laps in to this race. We got the 68 of Partridge leading and Nick Joanitis in the 2nd spot. These two have raced many, many times for many, many years here at Irwindale Speedway for the win. And they're going to do it again. It's not something that we're going to see this season between the two drivers. In fact, this might be the only time we get to see them racing it up for the lead, as the number 29, who
Kevin Harvick
don't even have on my sheet, pulls in. That car was a really late entry. But yeah, Jeffrey, that is the...
Wasn't that Sue?
You're right. Matsu. I wonder what's wrong with Matsu there.
Out of gas, clearly.
Just did not pack enough fuel or conserve during that caution. Did not conserve enough gas. He actually is going to coast it enough to... He's trying to bump start it. I can see that car jerking around. He's got to keep moving a little bit more forward so we can say green. Just see these battles play out.
Woo! Sideways is Joanitis. Tommy, you talked about you were talking about Ryan Partridge and not knowing how much we'll see him this year.
I was saying him and Joanitis duking it out for the lead because both drivers racing in different divisions here, as Kenny Smith going for the 3rd spot to the inside of Zach Green. Kenny Smith makes a move up the inside.
Cowboy. Because I was going to say, we will be seeing Partridge, it sounds like.
We will.
For the truck season.
So the trucks has Partridge for all or as much that he can race, non-conflicting with his full-time in the K&N Pro Series West for Brunicati Motorsports.
Yeah, which he has a shot in a championship in that car.
So Partridge, good to see him back here on a weekly basis at Irwindale Speedway. He's now leading this race. Second spot, Nick Jarnitis, continuing his run in the late models for Nava in that number 77 ride.
After that first late model race, I think it's going to be hard to choose a favorite for the championship this year.
Definitely.
And I love that.
I love this idea of a race, and I'm enjoying it, Jeffrey, because we've never had the scenario that can play out.
Oh, the big one. Debris.
Caution is out. Not sure why.
What happened?
All right, Jeffrey, you can see the lineup was not how we went to caution with a 5-car invert. At the halfway marker, we go yellow and go back to green with a new rearranged lineup. We go back to green. And it'll be Cedric and Zach Green going into turn number 1.
Kenny Smith wants to win this race, man.
Yeah, Cowboy, he's done it before in the trucks. Look at the move that Joe Unitas, he tried for a hole that closed up quickly as your top 2 going into this caution now have work to do.
Oh, yeah.
And a nice slide job for Partridge, but he does not seal the deal.
I'm telling you, Kenny Smith is going to win this race.
Don't look behind you right now, Cowboy. And Jeffrey, you might have said it under the yellow. Do you think Cedric might have played that invert?
I don't know if they knew what the invert was going to be. I feel like if I'm a race director, I wouldn't tell anyone. Except unless I wanted Cedric to win, I'd tell him.
Bill Cedric is in the lead, putting a gap of about 3 car lengths to that second spot. Partridge to the inside of Cowboy Kenny Smith. So Flying Ryan making a move to the inside of the Cowboy.
Well, now it's interesting because now you got the driver of a K&N car chasing down the crew chief of a K&N car.
Yeah.
Being chased down by a guy who drove a K&N car back when they had wooden wheels. So, and I'm talking about how Kenny Smith, they had so much money that they made wood wheels and they still work. But the Smith family and all, I mean, we've seen a lot of that family race, and now a lot at Havasu. But I love it. Always love chatting it up with their family.
I do believe, if memory serves me correctly, the last time Kenny Smith has won a championship was in the old MSR Pro 4 modified class, which were basically 4-cylinder super late models back in the 90s.
There you go, wood wheels.
And that might have been here at Irwindale Speedway and Saga Speedway and probably Orange Show and everywhere else they raced him.
I'll tell you what, if one person's playing the strategy card right now,
you think it's that 5 machine?
I think it's Trevor Huddleston, man.
One of the most recent champions in this field is struggling. Unbelievably. I mean, this car seems like it's just not able to get any grip through the corners.
Well,
where's that black helicopter? I'm looking for the black helicopter.
Well, Tommy, we have 7 laps to go. And it's all starting to set up here.
Jeffrey, do you think Partridge gains brownie points by letting Cedric win this race?
He might get a little bit better of a setup than Thorne.
That's what I'm thinking. But it's all for naught because Partridge to the inside and makes a move.
Cedric should just go in there and dump him.
I think that's what's about to happen right now.
Just come on up and just...
Looks like he's turning right up. No, I'm kidding. Jeffrey, this is all part of the fun. I mean, Partridge, I don't think I think he's only raced Bill Cedric once. Now than the trucks, a long time ago, Cedric got the upper hand and won it out at Irwindale Speedway years ago. But Cedric is slipping back to the third spot now, Jonas.
And look who's coming back.
Cowboy.
Cowboy. Oh. Yeah, I think the last regular division that Cedric raced in was the truck.
Yeah, and he was a fast driver in that class. I do think that if Bill Cedric wasn't so wrapped up with his crew chiefing duties, I do believe that if he still had that truck, or if he still had a car to race, I would not be surprised if he won himself a championship here at Irwindale Speedway, based off of the prior results that you and I have seen him racing here before. Always had a fast Pearl number 2 truck. Definitely knows what to do to turn a wrench.
Cowboy.
So the top 2 started on the road to that dreaded road number 2 that had historically the most dominant drivers are 1 and 2 at the final lap of this race. Battle for the third spot. Cowboy Kenny Smith looking to the inside, wants to get around Sedgwick, but Partridge making a move towards the latter part of this race into the lead out of turn number 4. And checkered flag, your champion of the Irwindale Race of Champions event goes to that number 68 driver of Ryan Partridge. Joan at a second, third spot will be held onto by Bill Cedric. Fourth will go to Cowboy Kenny Smith, and rounding out your top 5, Superstock champion here at Irwindale Speedway, Zach Green.
And Matsu. Something
definitely off on that 5 of Trevor Huddleston being that his teammate, lookalike car, got the win. You see a black helicopter anywhere?
It's like Trevor climbs out of the 68.
Yeah. Well, we're playing the black helicopter game because a lot of people are convinced that Trevor was told he can't win this race. In fact, I think a lot of people are convinced that that's why he's not racing here this season.
Well,
and based off of that result, I don't think he should race here.
Damn. Damn. Well, now we're going to interview the top 3.
Lugnut! Welcome back.
I
haven't seen Lugnut in a while.
I just like how Lugnut's just hanging on for dear life. You should post this, but leave in that part of how.
Oh, I'm totally going to leave it in. We'll put this on YouTube. I think, honestly, we're going to just continue to, at least with Irwindale stuff, we're just going to post everything on YouTube. Not immediate, but.
Right. Do we want to try to get back in the DVD game? Or is that just a lost cause?
No.
Or, I mean, this stuff gets posted on our website, right?
Yeah, but I don't know if we should deal with that anymore.
Why?
Just because I think DVDs are easier, or digital copies. Because I think taking people to that website is just like, aren't we? Did we do the?
I'm just wondering if like we do a.
We did that monthly thing, but it didn't do anything. Like,
no,
we didn't gain anybody. Our biggest sale was Joe Naddis because he would buy every race.
Oops.